Are you one of those who just loves Seoul, that you keep coming back even if you don't know where else to go and what else to explore anymore? This video is for all of you frequent travelers or even second-time travelers to Seoul. Here are some of the nice things and places you can still do around the city. And did I mention they're budget-friendly too? Number 1 is strolling along Deoksugung Doldam-gil or Deoksugung Stone Wall Street, plus some good old Leige waffles. Beside the main entrance of Deoksugung is this small, rustic-looking store owned by Leige, a famous Belgian waffle chain. Their waffles are freshly baked, crisp, and nothing short of amazing. What I like to do around here is get my usual waffle with cream cheese, sit at one of the benches along Doldam-gil, and eat in peace. Then do a leisurely stroll afterwards. Doldam-gil is the 900-meter stretch of street along the stone wall of Deoksugung, one of the 5 royal palaces in Seoul. The road at the center where vehicles pass by is Deoksugung-gil. The tall trees that look more beautiful during autumn and the ancient wall make this place very picturesque. There's a superstition that couples who walk along Doldam-gil will eventually break up. It's because this road used to lead to the Seoul Family Court, which adjudicates family-related disputes such as divorce and child custody. At night, the wall is illuminated, giving off a romantic vibe. Number 2 is enjoying a cup of coffee and some breathtaking views at Jeongdong Observatory, located just across Doldam-gil. If you walk past Leige and other stores, you will come across a building on a slightly uphill land. This is the Seoul City Sosomon Building 1. If you take elevator 3 up to 13th floor, you will get to Cafe Darak, where the observatory is. Jungdong Observatory gives you a breathtaking aerial view of Deoksugung and a panoramic view of Jeongdong. From this vantage point, you can clearly see the grounds and buildings of Deoksugung, Seoul City Hall, Seoul Metropolitan Library, Seoul City Plaza, Jungdong First Methodist Church, and Seoul Anglican Church. Jeongdong is a neighborhood in Junggu or Jung District, and where Deoksugung and the other buildings I've mentioned are located. There's no fee to access the observatory and it's open to everyone. But if you want to hang around a bit longer, I suggest that you at least buy something to eat or drink at the cafe. Don't miss to check out the photo exhibition and to read about the history of the area, which are posted on the walls of Cafe Darak. The nearest train station to Doldam-gil and Seoul City Hall Sosomon Building is City Hall Station Exit 1. Number 3 is a visit to the Seoul City Hall building, which is a 5-minute walk from Doldam-gil. You might have seen its modern and iconic structure from the outside, but didn't you know that this building is eco-friendly and highly efficient? When you get inside, you'll be surprised to see a vertical garden that reaches the 7th floor of the building's inner wall and occupies an area as big as a soccer field, making it the largest vertical garden in the world on the Guinness Book of World Records. Based on Seoul Metropolitan Government's website, Seoul City Hall has a double-skin facade system which allows it to adapt to both cool and warm temperatures. Also, around 28% of the energy used to run the building comes from eco-friendly sources. Number 4 is some wellness time at Seoul K-Medi Center in Dongdaemun District. The easiest way to get here is by getting off at Jeongdong Station Exit 2. On your way out, you will be welcomed by the pungent smell of different herbs sold by vendors just outside the train station. K-Medi Center is inside Seoul Yangnyeongsi Market, the largest herbal medicine market in the entire Korea. Yangnyeongsi means medicine market. It has around 1,000 Korean medicine facilities like herbal vendors, clinics, pharmacies, and many more. The market has continued the mission of Bojewon, which is a medical and social welfare institution during the Joseon dynasty. It provided medicine and treatment to people who could not afford it, and gave free accommodation to travelers. Seoul K-Medi Center is a wellness complex focusing on traditional medicine. The center offers different Oriental medicine relaxation programs such as K-herb foot bath, which is perfect for my tired feet. The center is also home to Seoul Yangyongsi Herb Medicine Museum, which has countless fascinating exhibits on herbal medicine. I tried the K-herb foot bath, where we're given a bottle of medicinal herbs to mix with the warm water. It follows the principle found in Donggibogam, or Book of Korean Medicine, which is keeping the head cool and the feet warm. Korea is well known around the world as a leading destination for medical tourism, especially in the fields of dermatology and cosmetic surgery. But it's good to know that in the heart of Seoul, there's also a facility you can go to for wellness tourism focusing on Oriental medicine. Embodying the role of a Bojewon, K-Medi Center also offers free medical treatment like acupuncture and health counseling to elderly people and those with disability. If you'd like to learn how to cook medicinal dishes or yakson, you can also join a cooking class here, which starts at 15,000 won per person depending on the menu. After a relaxing soak, I went to try their foot bath salt making activity using Epsom salt and powdered herbs, and which makes a unique souvenir. By the way, before you leave, you might want to try some healthful traditional food at the Oriental Medicine Cafe called Chamdaejong, which is at the beautiful hanok at the entrance. Overall, I find this facility a perfect venue to relieve stress without breaking the bank. Number 5 on our list is a visit to something that you'd probably not expect to find inside an old market. A few minutes walk away from K-Medi Center is Jeongdong Market, also called Kyungdong Market, which is a huge market in Dongdaemun. We're going to enter through Gate 4, which is along Gosanjaro. Upon entering, you'll see a flight of stairs to your right. If you turn left, you'll see a retro-looking theater door. Let's get inside. A black wall that reads Kyungdong 1960 will greet you right here. Now this space is the Gumsung Radio Refresh Center by LG Electronics. There's an exhibition of old home appliances produced by LG, formerly known as Gold Star, when it started back in 1958. There's also a big projector that tells about the history of Kyungdong Market. Somewhere here is another retro-looking theater door which leads us to number 5 on our list. Welcome to Starbucks Kyungdong 1960. This place was once Kyungdong Theater, which was built in 1960. Starbucks built this 805 square meter store in 2022 and retained the original architecture of the theater. The theater doors were preserved from the original structure, and the orientation is even similar to a theater, where all 143 seats are facing the stage where the bar is. The interior is also oozing with cozy retro vibe. Instead of the baristas calling out your name and order, these are projected on the wall, so you'll know when it's time to get it. The store also hosts cultural and musical performances every now and then. What's extraordinary about Starbucks Kyungdong 1960 is that it's a community store, where for every item you buy from here, 300 won goes to Korean Commissions for Corporate Partnership, or KCCP, and allocated for the refurbishment of Kyungdong Market. Cool, isn't it? Number 6 and the last on our list is an evening stroll at Seoullo 7017 Sky Garden. To get here, we will need to get off at Seoul Station and walk a portion of the Sky Garden from here all the way to Haeyeon Station. Seoullo 7017 Sky Garden is a public garden on an old overpass that has deteriorated and was deemed unsafe for vehicles. Instead of demolishing it, the government transformed it into a beautiful walkway over the bustling city center. Seoullo means toward Seoul, and also sounds like Seoullo, which means Seoul Road. The old overpass was constructed in 1970, while the Sky Garden was opened in 2017, which explains the 7017 in the name. It starts from the neighborhood of Malidong all the way to Haeyeon Station, while it can also be accessed at midpoint via Seoul Station Exit 8. There's a tourist information center here and some cafes and shops too. Doing an evening walk at the Sky Garden reminds me of the beautiful lights at the Super Tree Grove at Gardens by the Bay in Singapore, which gives off the same kind of feeling, like you're in another world or space. The city offers free day and night walking tours along Seoullo, which are sponsored by the Seoul Metropolitan Government. Reservations can be made via visitseoul.net. And that's the end of today's tour. If you haven't tried any of these activities, maybe it's high time that you add it to your itinerary. Please like and subscribe if you find this video helpful.